What if I told you that at this very moment, the US and China are quietly, but effectively, working together on something significant? Something that, on the surface, seems like a win for global order, but beneath the headlines, could reveal a lot about the fragile dance between two superpowers. Before we dive into this fascinating story, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and keeps these crucial updates coming your way. All right, let's get to it. Chinese state media, specifically the Xinhua news agency, dropped a bombshell report this past Monday. They announced that authorities in early April, in a series of coordinated operations spanning both the United States and China, arrested 5 individuals. 3 of these suspects are American citizens, and 2 are Chinese nationals. The operation targeted a substantial drug smuggling and trafficking network. This isn't just a minor bust. This is a significant, multinational effort that has apparently been in the works, culminating in these arrests. Now, the context here is absolutely critical. This joint operation, as reported by the Chinese Ministry of Public Security, occurred just ahead of a highly anticipated meeting between President Trump and President Xi Jinping. This meeting, which has been the subject of much speculation and negotiation, is crucial for navigating the complex landscape of trade, security, and diplomatic relations between the two global giants. The fact that these two nations, often characterized by friction and strategic competition, could pull off such a cooperative law enforcement action is, frankly, remarkable. So what are we to make of this? On one hand, this collaboration is a clear signal that even amidst significant geopolitical tensions, there are areas where mutual interest can drive cooperation. The global drug trade is a pervasive threat that doesn't respect national borders, and a joint effort to dismantle a trafficking ring is, in principle, a positive development. It showcases a capacity for communication and coordinated action that might surprise many observers. However, we also have to consider the timing. Why now? Why this specific operation? Could this be a deliberate demonstration of goodwill, a subtle message to President Trump and President Xi that cooperation is possible and even beneficial, right before they sit down to discuss far more contentious issues? Or is it a move by China to project an image of international responsibility, perhaps in response to ongoing criticisms or trade disputes? Who is affected by this? Obviously, the 5 individuals arrested are directly impacted. Beyond them, this operation likely targets larger criminal organizations, disrupting supply chains and potentially impacting the availability of illicit substances in both countries and beyond. On a broader geopolitical level, this affects the narrative surrounding US-China relations. It introduces a variable of cooperation into a relationship that is often defined by competition and conflict. What are the possible outcomes? This joint sting could pave the way for further, deeper cooperation in other areas, perhaps even in security or intelligence sharing. It could be a small but significant brick in building trust, however tenuous, between the two nations. Conversely, it could be a one-off event, a tactical partnership for a specific goal, with no lasting implications for the overall relationship. It's also possible that the details of this operation, once fully revealed, will expose deeper complexities or even controversies that we can't yet foresee. For instance, what was the scale of the drugs involved? What were the intended destinations? Were there any unexpected complications during the arrests? These are the questions that will shape our understanding. The sheer fact that this collaboration is being reported by Chinese state media suggests that Beijing wants this to be known, and perhaps wants to highlight its own role in tackling global crime. How the U.S. administration frames this success, and whether it's used as leverage or simply acknowledged as a functional partnership, will be telling. It's a delicate balance. Acknowledging cooperation can be seen as a sign of strength and pragmatism, but overemphasizing it might be perceived domestically as being too accommodating to China. Think about it. In a world where headlines often scream about trade wars, cyber threats, and military posturing, a story about 2 rival nations catching drug smugglers together is refreshingly complex. It challenges our preconceived notions and forces us to look for the nuances. This isn't a simple good versus evil narrative. It's a story about intertwined interests, global challenges, and the ever-shifting dynamics of international power. So what do you think about this? Does this US-China drug bust signal a new era of cooperation, or is it just a temporary alignment of interests? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This developing story highlights the intricate and often surprising ways that nations interact on the global stage. We'll be keeping a close eye on further developments. Stay informed, stay engaged.